What's up, guys? My name is David, and welcome back to Basically Star Wars, and welcome to another episode of Talking Star Wars. With me here today is Gavin Likes Movie. He is a fellow awesome young film-based YouTuber. He makes great movie reviews, and today we're going to do what we do on this show is talk Star Wars. This is going to be kind of a different episode. I have not one single topic like I do with my other episodes. We're going to run through 5 or so questions just to get Gavin's opinions on the Star Wars universe. Gavin, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, it's a real pleasure to be on here, and I have a very special relationship with the sequel trilogy and the original trilogy. The prequel trilogy I'm fairly new to. I saw like 7 months ago, and I did a Star Wars ranking a while back. You can't find it on my channel anymore. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna. I love talking about some Star Wars, so it's gonna be fun.
Awesome. So usually my introductory question is, how did you get into Star Wars? Because like you said, you have an interesting relationship with the other trilogies, but prequels you only watched like a couple months ago. So how did you get into the Star Wars universe?
I don't remember specifically, but I think it was my parents. They had like this big, massive like collection like of the Star Wars movies, like these like big DVDs, like they're like these big sets. I'm pretty sure we still have them somewhere. I don't really use them particularly, but that's how I mainly got into Star Wars. And I remember one time, like when I was sick all the time as a little kid, I popped on a Star Wars movie all the time, and that's always what I used to watch. And the sequel, The Force
Nice.
Awakens, was the first Star Wars film
Nice.
I saw in theaters, so I just have a strong bond with that film as well as all the sequel movies. The only one out of like the 2010 Star Wars films I haven't seen in theaters was Solo. So all the other ones I saw in theaters.
Fair enough. Solo's not that much of an experience. You have seen Solo though, right?
Netflix is a little, like 9, 10 years old or whatever. I thought it was boring. I rewatched it and I grew to appreciate a lot more, and I like it a lot more than I used to. So yeah.
Fair enough. I kind of went opposite direction. I walked out being like, that was cool, and now it's my least favorite Star Wars movie. Not because it's bad. I like the other ones more. But anyways, let's not get too off topic. So that leads us into the next question. What is your favorite Star Wars movie?
My favorite Star Wars movie is Return of the Jedi. It's my favorite sci-fi movie ever, and my third favorite film ever of all time. I just thought it has one of the greatest openings ever in sci-fi history. I think it has the greatest final battle in sci-fi history, and I think it is just a classic film. And just I have such a strong bond with the movie because it was the Star Wars film as a little child that I watched the most. So yeah.
Very nice. So that kind of leads into the next topic because my favorite Star Wars movie is Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3. Prequels. So what are your relationship with the prequels?
I don't have a strong relationship. My parents never showed them to me, and like they hate them. My family hates the prequels.
No.
Even my uncle, who's like a big movie buff, he said, "Yeah, I think it's great that you didn't grow up with the prequels." And I'm like,
Oh
"Okay."
no.
So whereas the Skywalker was coming out, I was like, "Okay, let's see. I'll rewatch the Star Wars movies." So that's what I did, and the prequels are easily my least favorites. I think Attack of the Clones is unwatchable. I hate that movie so much. I think Phantom Menace is terrible, but at least it has somewhat of a structure. Revenge of the Sith, I don't understand the appeal. I think it's a decent film overall. That third act is great. I think the acting is a major improvement in this film, but I don't understand what's so great about Revenge of the Sith. So
Okay, so I gotta defend my favorite movies. They're not my favorite movies, but they're up there. Okay, so I can agree with you that Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones are pretty bad movies. But I think George Lucas was trying to do something different, and I appreciate different stuff. When a filmmaker takes risk, I will always appreciate that. Jar Jar Binks is terrible. I think we can both agree on that. But with Phantom Menace, I love seeing kind of the political corruption starting, because in a galaxy far, far away, that's what I could see that happening. It's not going to be like the original trilogy was just a fun, basic story, good versus evil. The prequel trilogy is more of a deep dive of how did we get here, and I found that interesting. Attack of the Clones, the romance is cringy, but on rewatches, just this last year, because you go back like 9 months ago, I hated Attack of the Clones. Now I really do like it. I think it's up there like with my 50 favorite movies. I think it has some really good lore. I think it really dives into the failure of the Jedi Order because if you look at it, of course Anakin's gonna become bad. Like you can't love. You're basically an emotionless robot. You're taken away from your family when you're very young and you're told to get over it. You're gonna get a serial killer from that. So I like seeing the failure of the Jedi Order start to, come to surface more. And then Revenge of the Sith, that is my favorite movie of all time. I think it is just a great story of fallen heroes tragic heroes, the fall of this grand republic because of their dogmatic views and because of the failure of the Jedi Order, because they could not see how bad their religion or order was. So I think it's really interesting, and on top of it, it's just epic, for lack of better words. It's just a very epic movie with some great battles. So that's my stance. What do you have to say?
Um, well, I hate Attack of the Clones, honestly. The first time I saw it, I was like, yep, this is as bad as everyone says it is. I think the CGI is some of the worst examples of green screening ever. I think that the romance in the movie is just terrible, and it could have been actually a great, good romance, but no. We never really got to see that relationship with Obi-Wan and Anakin, which always makes me sad that we never actually got to see that really happen. In
In
this
3, we
film is
did.
no step into that. They're basically like in two different direct they're basically completely separated. They're not in the movie really together at all. The final battle, which a lot of people like, I'm not the biggest fan of. I think there's better Star Wars final acts, and I thought that the CGI in that scene was awful. I thought that I just think everything. I don't think there's really any compliments I can give the movie. So,
For episode 3 or episode 2?
uh, yeah, episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Okay, okay. I
Phantom
thought
Menace
you were
is
calling the
not
Battle
a
on
bad
Mustafar
movie.
awful. Ooh, my heart. No, on episode 2, it's very CGI heavy. I mean, what was it, 2002? So it was the start of CGI, so it's gonna look outdated, but that's not a good excuse. It does look pretty bad.
Because Lord of the Rings that has good CGI,
That's
and that
true.
was made like basically the exact same time. So
That's very true.
I don't really give it an excuse for that.
Okay, so for my fellow prequel fans watching this, if you're already upset at Gavin, let's give him another chance to give another one of his hot takes. Gavin, what is the special hot take you have for us?
Okay, now this to be fair, I did the sequel trilogy. I watched a ton as a kid. I loved them. But I like The Last Jedi more than A New Hope. I didn't even notice it actually when I did my Star Wars rankings and stuff. I never noticed it. I'm like, oh, I actually like The Last Jedi more than A New Hope, and incomplete. Like we were talking about this like about a month ago. He said, what are some of your hot takes? And I said that I said, well, I just looked through my ranking. I'm like, oh, I like The Last Jedi more than A New Hope. We could do that, and yeah, I am shocked, but I thought that Last Jedi is very, very overrated. I think that they did some really great, great stuff that I just don't understand why it gets so much hate that it does. I think that just Luke, a lot of people hate what Luke, like what they do with Luke. I think that people change. Like people, you're not the same person that you are as a kid as you were an adult. And like in chapter 2, that this is a completely different topic, but they failed on that miserably. But this film does it right. It does it, and I think Luke Skywalker's whole sacrifice thing was very interesting, even though the death is unforgivable because there's no emotion. And that really did work for me. I thought in a great level. I think that just a lot of great stuff in this film. Like I thought the score was actually very well done, and I thought that there's so much emotion and just it's just I love the movie. A New Hope, I love that movie as well. But I think that the action, besides the third act, is acceptable. The all the rest of the action is terrible. I think it's all awful, and I like that movie, but it's just some of the characters don't really feel like the actual characters later on in the films, and there's just I thought Luke was very whiny and annoying in that movie. I still like the movie, but I just think Last Jedi I like it a little bit more. So
And so do I. I think I'm a little more positive. I'm much more positive on Last Jedi than you, I think. But I still do place Last Jedi over A New Hope just by one place. Last Jedi's third place for me, and New Hope is fourth. But they're both amazing movies in my opinion. I do think A New Hope is the better movie, just like cinema wise. I do think that is the better movie. But Last Jedi is just I enjoyed that one more. I watched that one a lot more. So something I want to touch on is Luke's death because I know you said it's unforgivable. Why don't you elaborate on that?
well, the reason why is I didn't even know he died. Like people were saying, oh, he died in the movie. I'm like, did he actually? Because I didn't see it. Like it's like so quick, and you have to look so closely at it, and you shouldn't
No,
like
they
in the ending
literally
of the scene, that
he
is like
literally
unforgivable.
dies for 2 minutes.
Yeah, like he dies for like 2 minutes of the movie, and just it doesn't feel like it at all, really. Like,
But
well,
that's
for
not a
me, like
blink and a
I
miss
did
it.
not notice it at all. And for my opinion, with someone like Luke Skywalker, you kind of should notice that. And like with Han Solo and Force Awakens, a lot of people don't really elaborate on the death scene. I thought it was very emotional, actually. I thought that was a very emotional death scene, and I think no one really gives enough credit for that. But in this one, it's just you just see him standing there, and then the movie kind of ends, and just that's not a good death at all, in my opinion. And
Yeah, no,
I, I
I think you might slightly be misremembering it because I mean they do keep on him dying for like I said 2 minutes. It's not a blink and you miss it moment. He dies for like 2 minutes. He's like
yeah,
literally
but it's
looking at the
like
binary
it's just it's
suns.
not noticeable. What I mean is, it's like it's hard to really notice it, and like there's no really emotion to it at all.
I mean emotion that's subjective, but I mean just noticing it. I'm not sure how you can miss it. He dies on screen.
It just was hard for me to really notice it, I guess. But
That's fine.
yeah, but it's just the death didn't have much emotion as well to it, so
Yeah, no,
it
I
just
like
didn't feel
emotion is
like it was
subjective. I have buddies who like think it's terrible and disrespectful to the character. But like that's all subjective, but noticing it, like it was there.
it's just it weirdly difficult for me to notice it because it wasn't for me. It wasn't 100% confirmed. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Well, that's fair. Interesting, but fair. So let's move on to the final question. Here's just a light one. Favorite Star Wars character or characters, whichever one, however many you want to say.
That is a very difficult question. As you can see, I got a couple right here, but um, that's very difficult. I think I gotta say probably Darth Vader, just because the character is great and just like so much emotion to the character, and just the whole reveal in general is just fantastic, and just what they did with the character was so well, especially the sacrifice that he gave in Return of the Jedi. It's just a great character.
Oh, would that be Darth Vader or Darth Vader slash Anakin?
Yeah, Darth Vader. Honestly,
Like, do you consider
I
them two
think I'm
separate
just gonna
characters?
go
Because I know
Darth
that's like a
Vader
debate.
because I kind of want to forget the prequels. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't want that to be in there. No, just pretend. I just want to pretend the original trilogy is the only movies we really see him in. So
Well, okay then. For me, it is Darth Vader slash Anakin Skywalker, then Ahsoka, then Maul, then Luke.
okay,
Have you seen the Clone Wars?
no, I have not seen the TV show at all. So
I recommend that because I think once you watch that and you like look at the lore of the prequels and go back and watch the prequels, I think maybe you'll have an appreciation for them.
maybe I still think Attack of the
Maybe.
Clones is one of the worst sci-fi movies ever made, but
It's
maybe.
probably up there, to be honest. It's probably not a great piece of cinema, but I think it is a good piece in the Star Wars universe. So, on that note, do you have any final words before we start to wrap up this episode?
Well, definitely go check out my channel. It will definitely be in the link in the description. Thank you, David, for linking in the description. I know you will. But if you want to check out my channel, I do. I got a Road to MCU coming. I got my Road to Christopher Nolan. Who knows when that movie is coming out?
Nice.
Honestly, I'm
That's
ranking
true.
40 movies with house reviews, and yeah, that's all I really gotta say.
Awesome. Once again, definitely go check out his channel. Gavin, thank you for coming on. This was a fun discussion. I will see you guys in the next video. And the force be with you.